This is WCM's Park Update, a weekly show covering the outdoor hospitality industry, hosted by Ben Quiggle and Mike Gast. During each episode, you'll hear from special guests and campground experts on topics that will help your park flourish. WCM's Park Update is a production of Woodall's Campground Magazine.
Hi, welcome to another edition of WCM's Park Update. I'm your host, Ben Quiggle, editor of Woodall's Campground Magazine. Boy, I almost said the abbreviation WCM. And the show is sponsored by Spot Tonight. And of course, my esteemed co-host is here, Mike Gast, president and founder of the Emiola Group.
You got it right.
There we go.
Nice.
There you go. And enjoying the warm sun of Nebraska. And then coming to us
today.
Yeah, coming to us from Pennsylvania today, not where she lives, but she's visiting friends, is Dawn Watanabe, who is the Director of Campground Partnerships and Success with RV Life, a rather new position that she took over. And it's great to see you, Dawn. I know I ran into you at the Wisconsin Association conference here a little bit ago.
We
did. We're doing kind of the trade show circuit at the moment here during the spring. It's just great to see you. I guess, I've seen you at a couple different conferences, different places, but I guess, can you just explain a little bit about your history up front, I guess, with the industry,
Yeah,
and how you got into the industry and what you've been up to, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
I started, 24 years ago with Good Sam. Actually was Woodall's. Originally, I came to work for Affinity Group. I started with Woodall's. And as you know, under the Affinity Group umbrella, they also had Trailer Life. And then when Marcus came on board, Marcus Lemonis, he merged those two companies into Good Sam, both companies. And so I had been with that organization for 22 years. I started out as a coordinator and then worked my way up to director of sales, specifically in the RV Park and Campground division, in the Good Sam RV Park and Campground division. So I worked very, very closely with all of the campgrounds, Good Sam parks and non-Good Sam parks, and managed the rep teams that were on the road. And then when we parted ways in 2022, I did a little bit of consulting, and then got an introduction from one of my former coworkers, Eileen Hubbard, and who's been in the industry a very long time as well, and introduced me to Andy Rabinowitz, who's the owner of RV Life. And so I was extremely excited to start working with this organization. I didn't know who RV Life was at the time. And then as I have been on board for about a year, found that this is a phenomenal company, started by Andy Rabinowitz approximately 20 years ago. He is an RVer himself, and it was kind of out of necessity. He bought an Airstream, wanted to go on the road, and as you know, when you buy vintage trailers and things like that, little things go wrong with it. And so he really wanted to, at that time, kind of Google and find out where he could find some parts and things like that, and really couldn't find a platform. But what he did find were forums, community forums. And so really RV Life was kind of born out of Andy putting together different community forums, specifically in the RV lifestyle. So if it had to do with camping or RVs in general, all types of RVs. And so he started really gathering all these forums together to create a place where RVers alike could go and talk about what was going on with their RVs, or where they wanted to go, or what campgrounds they wanted to camp out. And so it's grown tremendously since then. Andy has done a great job at not just putting together a website platform where you can search for RV parks and campgrounds, but where you can trip plan, and also where RVers can connect with each other. And so when he onboarded me, it was really because everyone knew about the consumer side of the RV Life business. They have a product called RV Life Pro. And so, that particular product was really used, again, to search for the campgrounds, connect in the forums, and also trip plan. They have a trip planner, and then they also have a GPS routing system, a downloadable GPS. And the reason why RVers like it so much is because it's RV safe. Turn by
Yeah.
turn, turn by turn instructions, so that as RVers are traveling down the road, they're not hitting a bridge, and they're able to avoid expensive toll roads and things like that. So, but on the campground side of the business, we really felt like we needed more exposure, and so I just really wanted to get out there on the road and start meeting face to face with all my campground friends. I'm running into so many people that I've known throughout the years, and just so excited to tell them about RV life and all about the platform and what it has to offer.
Yeah, I mean, my wife and I took a trip to the Grand Canyon. I live in southern Michigan for the viewers who don't know. So, I mean, it's a little bit of a road trip. It's not just down the road.
Yeah,
And
right.
we, I actually toyed around with the RV Life travel uh, wizard or whatever, the
Yeah,
trip wizard or whatever.
yeah.
Just, I didn't use it entirely, but it's neat. It definitely is a neat tool. You
Awesome.
mentioned you worked for Affinity Group, which got bought by Camping World and the Good Sam stuff. It's
Right.
amazing. Do you have the same experience? I guess when I go around the industry just to see how many people are connected to the Affinity Group or have heard of that, and the older like Woodalls and Good Sam brands and stuff like that. It's just amazing to see those connections in the industry, I guess.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Um, I think, yeah, I'm definitely affinity group with Camping World and Good Sam. Certainly, they have so many connections within our circle for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so I feel like they're they have
Yeah.
a
I
great
mean,
connection in the industry, you know, and so I want to bring that same kind of awareness and connection to the campground owners, to RV life. Again, on the consumer side, well known, and then just really educating the campgrounds about our platform as well.
So what's the benefit to a campground to have a better relationship with your organization?
Sure, that's a great question. We have about, I mean, I'm going to say close to 30,000 campgrounds, and certainly that includes like your national and state parks as well. We are all over North America. All of the campgrounds are within the majority. The lion's share, of course, is in the U.S. and then Canada and Mexico. And so what we have is it's a awesome platform in that all of these campgrounds are able to go into the platform and claim their page, their park page. So it's very much a website where you'll go there, you'll search for the park, you'll come up with their park details page, and they have there's photos on their page. It's all their facility and amenity information that's on their page. RVer reviews and RVer photos. So we have this platform where I'm just going to tell you, millions of photos uploaded by RVers and millions of reviews. They are out there actively staying at the campgrounds and leaving these reviews. So for the campground
yeah.
owner, when they claim their page, it gives them the opportunity not only to manage that page and have full control over that page in order to upload their own photos, but also they're able to respond to the reviewers. And that's so important nowadays because you want to see what people are saying about your park. And um, i and I love our platform because the reviewers are so engaged. They are true RVers, where they will truly go onto the platform and leave the most glowing reviews about the parks. And they'll give it like a star rating, a specific star rating. They'll talk about the cleanliness. They'll talk about the kind of activities that they have. And so with our platform, we immediately once the park owner has claimed their page, we send that review to the park owner so that the park owner can see what the reviewers are saying and then have the opportunity to respond. And so we think that that's so important because the more that you engage with your customers, the more that you answer your reviews, you're just creating that community and that awareness and that word of mouth. And so
Yeah.
I think that that's a
Yeah.
really important part for campground owners to know.
Yeah, so you can kind of see, I think you guys can see this. The Fort Stockton RV Park was the first one that popped up.
Yeah,
So this one's in Texas, and you can kind of see the format that you're looking at with the photos. And I think
right.
this one even has like a site map that you can look at.
It
Yeah, I
did.
think we'll just take a short break
Mm.
and recognize our sponsor, and then we will be back with Dawn.
Supercharge your campground bookings with Spot Tonight, the #1 commission-free OTA for RV parks and campgrounds. Through integrations with top property management systems, Spot Tonight displays real-time outdoor accommodation inventory with a marketplace where campers can search for and instantly book campsites. Best of all, it's 100% free for operators. Visit partners.spottonight.com to get listed and unlock access to over 60 million campers.
So Don, are there different levels of buy-in for campground owners?
There is. First and foremost, I do want campground owners to know, RV park and campground owners, that what I was talking about, claiming your page, being able to respond to reviews, managing your page, uploading photos, all of that is free. We really want campground owners to engage with our RVers that are coming to the website, and and really have that piece of the business and that piece of our platform available to them. So all of that is free. And there is no gimmick, and there is no, you have to do something in order to get the free. That is something first and foremost that I want the campground owner to know. We do have a marketing package. It's called our featured ad package. And that particular package really gives the RV park and campground owner extensive visibility across our entire platform. So it gives advertising and featured ads, sort priority in this package. It also gives them highlighted visibility on our RV trip planner, so that when RVers are planning their trip on our trip planner, they're seeing our featured parks as well as the other parks as well. We want a full and comprehensive trip planner, but you do get highlighted on that piece of the website. We're constantly reaching out to our RVers through sponsored content and emails. And so we're always mentioning our featured parks in those particular emails and that content as well. And then we highlight them in our community forums. And we have, I want to say, over 30 community forums from all different types of RVers. And when they go in there to have their conversations, they'll find that there are featured parks on these forums as well. So we really do try to highlight all those featured parks in various places on our website and within our content as well that we push out to our RV consumer.
So Don,
So
did you mention the price?
the price for the annual package is $34.95, and then we also will have a monthly package as well. We have some of those seasonal parks like we had in Wisconsin, where they're only open so many months out of the year, and they find that that's really when they want their visibility. And so we have a monthly package at $299 a year, or excuse me, $299 a month. And it's great because it's a self-serve platform. When you're ready to upgrade, you can go to the platform and upgrade your park to featured, and that automatically puts you into the featured package. And then as I'm traveling across the country and talking to park owners, I'm telling them, if you have any trouble at all, please call me, please reach out to me via email, and then I'm more than happy to help them as well.
Yeah.
If they're having trouble navigating the self-serve piece of the platform. But it is very intuitive and super easy to facilitate. And I'm just very excited about introducing it to the campground owners.
So just to clarify, I guess, so you say claim your park page, I guess. So are you putting are there park listings on there that maybe they haven't, like the park owners or managers haven't claimed, I guess? Do you automatically like put parks on there, I guess?
So we have on the platform, on the homepage.
Yeah.
Well, I should back up a little bit. When Andy was putting together the RV Life website with the trip planner and the search tool. He purchased different companies and put them together all on this platform.
Yeah.
So originally, RV Life was Campground Reviews. And I believe the original owner of that was Bob McKinnon. And so he purchased that database. And then he purchased RV Trip Wizard to add. And this was years ago. So we already have, through that data and also through the RVer community itself, over 30,000 campgrounds.
Okay.
So it's interesting when I'm at shows and I'm talking to the campground owners and the RV park owners. I ask them, do you know if you're listed on RV Life? And they say, well, gosh, we don't think so. And I said, well, sit down and let's take a look. And they are always listed on RV Life. And a lot of the times, if they have an agency or marketing agency that they're working with, the marketing agency has already claimed their page for them.
Okay.
And they're already working at managing their page. And then there's a lot of campground owners that haven't claimed their page, and so I'll sit down with them and I'll claim their page with them. I actually am doing a lot of outreach to campgrounds through email and giving them step-by-step instructions on how to claim their campground page as well. But I will tell you that 99% of the campgrounds out there are listed on our platform, and that's why we just want them to come and claim their page.
Do you ever, the only reason I'm asking these questions is because I do get some, I read some forums and Facebook and stuff, and occasionally you run into a park owner who gets a little upset that they're listed somewhere they didn't know they were listed. But
Right.
do you ever run into those owners where they're like, I want my profile taken off of RV Life? And is that something you guys do, I guess?
So I would say not one time have
Okay.
I ever run into an RV or park owner. In fact, they're pretty excited because
Yeah.
a lot of the times when I show them their page, I say, look at how awesome your park is, and look how excited RVers are when they go to your park. They're literally loading photos, beautiful photos of your park, and they're leaving reviews. Now, do RV park and campground owners always love the review process? Not always, right?
Yeah.
And so I would say to that it is really it really is. I won't even say the future. It just really is how society is now.
Yeah.
If you look for a hotel, or if you look for a restaurant, or any sort of place where it's lodging or it's food or something like that, you look at the reviews. And you look at the photos, and that really does give you the opportunity to kind of say, this is the place that I want to stay. And I think what's unique about our platform is that the campground is able to respond to those reviews. I also tell campgrounds, listen, if there's, because we have moderators that will moderate all of the reviews, and they moderate all of the photos.
Yeah.
And if there is, like, you've got a park that has all these great reviews, and then you have one that all of a sudden is this very disparaging review, we weed those out because we know. And if a campground owner calls us and say, listen, Don, I just took over this park, and I have these past reviews, and that's not how our park represents itself anymore. We put a lot of work into this.
Yeah.
And then what I tell them is, we'll look at those reviews. We take those and we put those at the very bottom where they're not seen anymore, so that what's available now to the consumer, to the RVer, are all the reviews that the park is getting now that the park has been updated and under new ownership. So I hope that answered your question.
No. I mean, I think those are just some of the, things I've heard over the years. I know, when the Dirt, which is sort of a competitor, or I don't know. There's a lot of park listing sites, so I don't know if you guys would consider them a competitor or not. I know when they launched, there was quite a few park owners on some of the forums I was reading when they were like, how did I get on this new platform? So, I think that's a general question. I think when park owners find out that they're listed somewhere that they didn't know they were listed, sometimes they can get a little and then once they realize, like what you guys are doing at RV Life, that it's a positive marketing tool, I think, they come around. But
Yeah. I really, and again, I've been here a year,
yeah,
um, and I have yet to come across an RV park that has been disappointed to see that their listing is on there.
yeah,
I've only received very positive feedback. And even if you have a park that may have had some reviews that aren't like super glowing reviews,
yeah,
um, as we walk through them and I help them understand the process, that listen, these RVers are talking about some things that would be helpful for you to know so that you can just, if it's, maybe it's something that's going on with the sites, maybe it's something that's going on with the cleanliness of their bathrooms,
mhm,
maybe it's, we have a remote owner and maybe it's something about, front desk customer service or something like that. And so it's also an awareness of what's going on at the campground. And so we just try to be really proactive in making sure, again, that they've claimed their page and so that they can get in there and respond and just say, I appreciate your feedback. And here's what we're doing
yeah.
because of your feedback.
What has this done for photos? Traditionally, I work in media. You work for
Yes.
Good Sam. I guess, what has this done for photos, as far as like campground owners being more proactive to maybe get professional photography and stuff? Because, I mean, previously it's pulling teeth sometimes to get even some decent photos from campgrounds.
It's true. It's
Hmm.
very true. I talked to a campground owner, a couple campground owners in Wisconsin, and we were sitting down and claiming their page right there at the show, and they were excited to see how many beautiful photos consumers, the RVers that were staying at their park, were taking. And so, my question to them is, what I would love to see is I would love to see the photos that you have of your park. And some of them have
Yeah,
said, "Oh gosh, we haven't really taken any yet." And I said, you know what? If you have an iPhone or a smartphone, I should say a smartphone, because iPhone, Android, um, go out there and just take pictures of your entrance, of the park setting, and of your park site. Start with that. Um, and take it when it's a beautiful time of the year at your park, and upload them yourself or send them to me and I'll help you upload them. So,
yeah,
like you see, those are great
yeah,
photos,
yeah. These are
really
great
pretty
photos,
photos. Yeah.
and I
You know,
don't.
That's
it's
And I
always been a problem. And again, my life with KOA before was the same way. It was always
yes.
it was pulling teeth to get photos. And early
Yes.
on, I know the issue was that sometimes they would get a little bit loosey goosey with the copyright, and or they would find something on somebody else's page or their community page of their
Sure.
town,
Yes.
and they would kind of lift it and use it, which is not good. And
Right.
is there a way that you guys protect against that copyright infringement?
Oh, we constant. Well, so first of all, when an RVer is going to upload a photo, there's a certain process that they have to do to make sure that whatever photo we're allowed to use those photos. We want to make sure that we have the right to use those photos, and so we do
Hmm.
go through a moderating process, whether it be the RVer uploading the photo or the campground uploading the photo, because we always want to make sure that if we don't want any copyright infringement. And because we always want to make sure that professional photographers, they want their credit, and we totally understand that. But again, we haven't really seen an issue with that at all, because we do have things in place to make sure that all the rules are followed, and that we have the ability to use the photos that are on our site.
there
How about integration with reservation systems? There's got to be a lot of different systems out there. How does a camper get from your site to the reservation sites?
Great question. So, with right now with the and this kind of bounces back to the featured ad package. There's two things. There's a website link that will link the customer directly to their website, and then with the featured ad package that I was talking about previously, there is a book now button that it's included, and so What we do is we just collect the URL of whatever booking engine the customer is using. And even if it's just a page that they want the RVer to go to, because some of our mom and pop campgrounds, they still use, just a fill out page to take a reservation. And so within the Book Now URL, that'll send them directly to the campground's either booking engine, booking platform, or booking page. And so what we want to make sure is first and foremost that we never get in the middle of that process. We want to make sure that the camper or the RVer finds the park, is able to plan their trip, and then able to book with that campground. And that truly, you guys, that's our sole purpose, is really connecting the RVers with the campgrounds. And what I would say to campground owners when they say, well, how do we know that you're sending us business? Well, what's really cool about our platform as well is we make sure that we automatically send them, or we include tracking information that will show up in their Google Analytics. So they will always know that we are sending them, that the business is coming from us. And they will, and I've had customers ask me, RV park customers, campground and park customers ask me, do you have a reporting system? So I say that, yes, we have analytics that we can provide them. But I think what's more important is that we are a very transparent company. And I encourage them, look at your Google Analytics, because I will tell you that consistently we are in the top 3 to 5 referrals for traffic to the RV park and campground.
There's a couple companies out there that do virtual tours. I don't know if RV Life provides anything like that, or if you partnered with anybody. I guess, is there a way for people to get their virtual tours on the site too? Because I know,
Right.
yeah, I guess that's the question.
So that's really cool too, because that's something that we're going to introduce to the platform as well.
Okay.
On the park page, we are going to introduce the ability for them to link to their virtual tour. And as far as partnering, not right now, we haven't partnered with anyone, but listen, we're always open to talking to companies like that, because again, we're all about making sure that we're promoting the campground, and we're making sure that the RVer is seeing the best of what the campground has to offer. And a lot of the times that's within that virtual tour.
So what's it been like? What's it been like working with these new owners that are flooding into the market? Some of them not experienced as campground owners, or the folks that are coming in as groups. Are you dealing with groups at a time?
So as far as and when you say the groups, the large multi-park owners,
Yeah.
like your Northgate and like RBC, things like that.
Hmm.
Um, so what's interesting is that the newer campground owners are super receptive to all of it. They are like a sponge. They want to know all about our platform. I try to not only educate them on our website, on our platform, and the consumer piece of our business, but I because I've been in the industry for so long, I try to also point them in the direction of resources. So, our platform is a resource to connect with the RVer and the camper. Other platforms like Ojai, like Woodall's Campground Magazine, like other RV business, things like that. I try to give them other information so that they have these other resources to look to just educate them as much as possible, because I think that's important. I would say with the bigger organizations, people that might come from, I would say, like the hotel side of business, and now they've seen this growing RV park and campground market, and so they feel like, oh, this is kind of the same thing, and I can do this. I try to educate them and tell them it's not in the sense that their customer service would be the same, but it's not exactly the same. I think that we are a very different business into, it's all about relationships and people. And so I really try to talk to them about not just being an organization, but being customer friendly and just building those personal relationships. And that's what a lot of our mom and pop campgrounds do, is they build those relationships, and that's why they're so successful.
Well, before we go, I guess, we're wrapping up the show. You go to a lot of, you're going to be going to a lot of conferences this spring. And then,
I am. I am.
you talk to a lot of park owners just in general with the new position. I guess,
Right.
what are you hearing from them on the optimism side for this year? Are they remain pretty optimistic this year about their parks being filled, I guess?
Absolutely. They are very optimistic. I think, you hear a lot of chatter about, oh, now that travel has opened up after COVID, we're not going to see as many people.
Yeah.
After gas prices are always going up. But, what I would say is that, we had this huge influx of RVers during that COVID period. And I think what we all are seeing is that it's leveling off to a normality. And that's awesome as well, because what has happened is that there's more of an awareness nationwide about RVing and camping. And not only are like the baby boomers still in there, that's like that's still like 57% of
Yeah.
our RVers out there, but the families, the Gen Xers and the millennials, they are excited about camping and they're coming, and the RV park and campground owners know that, and they're seeing that influx. And so, that's what I'm hearing from the park and campground owners. But I also am hearing that now that it has normalized, they are finding that they need platforms to make sure that people are aware of their park.
Yeah.
And they do have to market more now. And they do have to kind of create their own awareness, where before, a couple of years before that, people were just flooding the campgrounds because they wanted someplace to go.
Yeah.
Now it's like you do have to work harder to make sure that everybody is aware of your campground.
Yeah.
And so and so that's what I'm really hearing, is that they're still excited about their seasons, and they still feel like they're going to get great business, but that they do have to work harder for it. And then I would just encourage them, to, engage in platforms like RV Life, so that, their visibility is there. And then the other thing that I just wanted to mention, that's really cool, that because technology is such a big thing in this industry now, is that when the campground owners do claim their page, and then they also download our RV Life mobile app,
Mhm.
we are now alerting campground owners when our RV Life customers are coming to their campground. So when a RV Life member is about 15 or 20 minutes out from their campground, that if the campground owner is logged into our mobile app and has it downloaded, it'll let them know that one of their RV Life guests is on the way. So that's kind of a cool feature as well. Just kind
Yeah.
of wanted to,
Yeah. That's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah, super awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm hearing a lot of the same optimism from campground owners. And yeah, I think the marketing is so, I think mom and pop parks especially are going to have such a challenge on the marketing end, because you've got these development groups that are coming in,
Yes,
and they can get bigger marketing firms. They're doing a lot on the marketing side. And
right.
you don't want to get lost in the mix if you're a smaller mom and pop operation. So it's definitely more important. I just found out there was a campground not too far from where I live. I didn't even know it was there. So, and
Awesome.
I've lived in this area my whole life. So,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm,
It's a
yeah,
very comprehensive database of campgrounds and RV parks.
yeah. So, well, it was great talking with you, Don, and thanks for being willing to come on. People can learn more about RV life at, I guess, what's the URL they can find you at, I guess.
So they can go to rvlife.com to check out the website.
Mhm.
Specifically clicking on the campgrounds button, and then they can just cruise through the whole site. They can reach out to me at dawn@rvlife.com, And then I'm more than happy to connect with them and walk them through their site and just help them, claim their page and just really educate them on the things that we have to offer.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you again, Don, for coming on.
Thank you.
And thanks everyone for watching, and we will be back again next week.
Thank you for listening to WCM's Park Update, a production of Woodall's Campground Magazine. Join us for a new show each Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn for daily news and updates, and subscribe to our news feed on our website at woodallscm.com. Show hosts are Ben Quiggle and Mike Gast. Executive producers Rick Kessler and Alex Burkett. Copyright 2022, G&G Media Group.